handful of presenters, a mass of microphones, and a whole load of talk. This is TigerTails Radio.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another delectable, delightful, and otherwise entertaining episode of TigerTails Radio. Someone's moving their mic around because I can hear it in my ears.
Not me.
Really?
It's not me. It actually isn't for once.
Okay, I'll believe you.
It was Felix.
Foolish fool, you believed him.
Just this once. Why do I sound shit all of a sudden? But everyone else sounds okay.
Because it's the natural way our voice works.
Distortion.
Who, me? Why is it distorted?
Yes, wiggle your cable a bit.
No, he is so close that it's distorting.
No, I've got a kind of a weird kind of...
I hear no backing music.
How about... Oh, whoa.
Again?
It's there. It's quiet.
There we go.
How about now?
So I can't go close like I normally do?
Hang on. Like I say, I'm going to have to adjust a couple of levels because I've been changing things because I've been using this equipment for other recording work.
I will sit back here and talk.
Did you just say blah 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 blah?
No, I'm about to throw out that cod piece.
Oh, lovely.
Please don't.
Like it affects you. You don't see or smell or hear any.
Yeah, you'll see it on the video, but only 30 seconds later, by which time he's got time to stop the stream.
I have to wrench my headphones off to stop the noise, and then I have to remember not to keep playing the video.
Yeah, it's complicated. Right, so good evening. This is TigerTails Radio. I am your host, TK, and in the studio there is an Angel Dog Song.
Hello.
And a Felis.
Hello.
And coming from the remote studio in the middle of nowhere, we have a Xavier.
Hello.
Hello, and we have an Angel Dog Song who's currently disappearing behind me, riddle scene.
Oh, again.
Ooh.
And why are the two plushies on the back? Ask Felis. Okay, that's the answer to that question.
Gosh.
I was arranging them in front of you guys. I fumbled 4 times to get them to stay like that.
Okay, Alex, I've got this feeling that your mic guard is resting on something metallic.
The mic stand.
It's off now. Oh, the mic stand.
The pop guard.
The pop guard.
Yeah.
That's not the mic stand, TK.
I said the mic guard.
Oh.
Yeah, it's resting on the mic stand.
That's fine.
That's better.
Right? Yeah. Okay, there we go.
So I could just hear this, which generally means something metallic is touching something phantom powered. Yeah, like
Which is not good. Yeah.
I'm not
Don't
metallic.
do that.
That was your fingers. You conduct current. It's the same thing.
I'm Magneto.
It's just got a magnetic personality. Right. Has the YouTube feed died for anyone else, or was it just me?
No, it's still up there.
I've not gotten onto the YouTube feed yet. I'm still finishing everything else off.
It still appears there for me.
Ma'am, I look a mess. This is the most laid-back opening to a show we've had in a while.
Yeah, even I'm not at my usual fancy level.
You're touching something again?
I'm not.
Someone is.
Oh, you know what? It might be the cable. The way you put the cable there. Give me a second. And I'll just...
Do I need to turn phantom power off again?
No.
Okay.
Let
Bear
him
with it
fiddle
1 second.
in front of the camera.
Give it. Pause it here.
Hang on a second. It seems the YouTube feed's playing up again. Give me a second.
It should be fine
Oh,
now.
there you go. Oh yeah, so welcome to TigerTails Radio. It is Monday, it is 8 o'clock, and we are breaking things yet again.
We always break things. We never not break things. It is tradition to not
if
never
we'd gotten
not break
ready
things.
20 minutes ago like TK wanted, nothing would have gone wrong.
Ooh,
And
the
we'd just been
bitching
sat
is starting
there
already.
waiting for 20 minutes.
Oh, it's turned up the...
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, mine likes to default at about 80 for some reason. It just seems to reset itself every time the computer's restarted and or you unplug the device. One of those weird Windows foibles. Foibles.
He says foibles.
It is foibles, that's
And you say potato.
No, we say Felix. Use normal English, you daft bugger.
Foibles. There's that buzz again. Hang on.
So yeah, traditionally we allow the first 20 minutes to break stuff. There's a reason for this. You may be noticing it
Hang on, Pete.
live.
Give me a second. No,
I would, but I've got
it's
to
not
fill
you.
the dead air that we're creating.
We?
Yes, you're not talking, are you?
Ha ha ha. Sorry, no, I just brought up this whole Peter Molyneux talking about the possibilities of his new game thing. And it's gone, you are here. 404, page not found.
Hang on, Pete. You're going to have to fill for a second.
Told you.
Sorry.
So yeah, so this is episode 42, season 8. We are live. It's TigerTails Radio. We are breaking things, and we have got another fun-filled evening of studio work. Undoubtedly, we have more gaming news, done and dusted. Maybe some TV talk, but then so early in the year, I don't think anything's started again. We have the ongoing bromance between Angel Duck Song and Felis. Children in the background. Oh, no, it's an advert. Hang on. This is the worst thing about having multiple tabs. I'm listening to what's going on, and then suddenly something happens, and it's like,
sake.
I have no idea what advert this
All
is.
being well, we should be back.
We are back.
Oh, thank God.
Yay!
Oh,
We unplugged the
dear.
cable, plugged things back in, poked something else, and it all worked. I know I've got to readjust
Of
all our volume
course.
levels again.
Yay.
In fact, I'm just watching the YouTube feed back now, and you can see the cable being plugged and unplugged and stuff.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
you didn't miss much in the film. Aside from some confusion when an advert started up, and I suddenly thought, what's TK piping through the bloody channel now?
It's just the channel's been monetized, that's all. So
I feel like this is actually the most casual show in a while.
is
The
that
fuck?
because your shirt's hanging out?
No, I'm talking about the way we're just sort of like,
We're here.
We're here, we're
the
here, we're cool.
first show of 2015. Now let's be honest, this is the beginning of a brand new year.
that's what you say every year.
Yes, at the start.
Yes. Why is it always
So-
a brand new beginning of a year? Why? Why
Well,
don't keep
he's
having
actually,
this?
starts.
he's actually right this time, because before the last show it was 2014, and now it's 2015.
Yeah.
So technically we are in a brand new year now.
No, but
Yeah.
every
Hello!
year he says this. Why?
Because it's technically a brand new year each
It's
year.
not brand new
So-
anymore. It's the same old year beginning.
We're all sending Nikes to Michael J. Fox this year, right?
This is really quiet. Let me boost his volume.
Why? Where's the joke?
Because
He also
it's-
doesn't actually talk into his mic, so...
No, that doesn't help.
I actually am.
He doesn't talk as close
as this.
Mostly because you end up spitting all over the microphone. So
Partially that.
yeah.
Yes.
Papa.
Pick up a
See, that's what
penguin.
happens when you talk directly into the mic, whereas mine's off axis. So that doesn't happen.
But it does make you quiet.
It does make you a little bit quiet.
Is anyone in IRC? I feel like I
I don't
should
know.
prod you guys to actually go into IRC.
I don't know, who's the IRC monkey today?
I am. Hang on.
Okay. But yeah, this is the year of
Pete, can you press
Back to
on
the
this a
Future.
moment?
Oh,
No,
they say that
I
every year as
actually
well.
am.
No, this is the year of Back to the Future.
as this.
Mostly. Okay, yeah, we seem to have a strange reverb on the YouTube feed.
Why were you suddenly talking with the voice of Legion into the mic, whereas mine's off axis? That doesn't happen. Why am I Decepticon?
Because for some reason the YouTube feed is reverbing.
We never ever get the frickin'
Where's it getting its audio from?
UP to work.
How is it listening to itself? All the volumes are turned off.
Did you mute Windows?
Yes. Has it brought itself back up again? Oh no, no, because we didn't have the that we normally had.
Are we supposed to have the speaker and the microphone working at the same time?
No.
Anyway, while TK fixes this. Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh god. So yeah, this is 2015, the year of Back to the Future.
Apparently, the speaker is muted.
And again, it's always the year Back to the Future. People did it last year, didn't they?
No, this one is actually
The actual proper. I know it's the proper one, but it's like, oh, Back to the Future. It's like, guys,
This keeps showing up.
guys,
Very bad Photoshop.
can't wait for this to be the last time we can see this.
No, it's going to keep resurfacing.
It's become a meme, I think. Anyway, how has Pete's?
And like any previous virus, you can get
So we're going straight into the week.
Yeah,
now,
let's
right?
do that while TK fiddles.
And maybe he'll get around to fixing the sound.
Did you just do?
Yeah.
TK's Yogi Bear?
I don't know. We gotta do a bit of the show.
Well, let's put it this way.
Hold on.
Last week was the New Year's
Probable
week, right?
dinosaur,
Wasn't
take
it?
your pick.
You were saying, Pete?
Yeah, whilst you two are bromancing it up, last week was the New Year's week, effectively.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
the week of not much happening and people complaining about having hangovers, and it's like, well, you should have drunk so much then.
Well, I was doing a shed ton of shipping about, because obviously Christmas, I was down for the show on the 29th, and I kicked around until pretty much the Wednesday morning. Headed home, and then spent New Year's just chilling out, because I've been travelling back and forth on the train so much, I really didn't want to be going out. And aside from some fireworks, wasn't too bad. I did the last few little bits of treat shopping that I wanted to do. I now have 30 quid on a new Amazon account.
Hey, a new Amazon account.
A new Amazon account.
What was
Yeah,
wrong with the old
I've-
one?
I've not been an Amazon customer until I put that prepaid card on there.
Oh. What,
And,
you've lived all this time without Amazon?
Wait, yeah, we were talking
What
about
the
this last
fuck is-
week.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, but I just want to give an excuse to go, what the fuck is wrong with you again?
Outside of the show, we didn't bring it up on the show, did we?
Did we not?
I don't think we did.
So let's reiterate.
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What
Why are
is
those
right?
plushies
I-
still in that position?
I've never used Amazon, that's the thing.
Wow.
And that explains a lot.
Explains why he does all his Christmas shopping with real money in real places.
Explains
Yeah.
why he knows shops.
What the fuck are shops?
But yeah, I've done that. What else did I do? I've got 50 quid I need to cash. I
I'll
bought a
take it.
couple.
What?
Yes, I got money.
Real monies?
Well, it's a cash check, so there's that. I picked up the legitimate review copy of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and more Supernatural because I finished season 1 within a few days of me posting that I was going to start watching it. I can't remember when I started it. So at this rate, I'll be season 8 by February.
We are listening, don't worry.
Yep.
Oh, good, because it's disturbing when I don't get verbal nods.
You would have heard whispering in the background.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that
I think a
that
verbal
doesn't
nod.
that
Down,
doesn't help.
Up, 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 up.
Nod, nod.
Left,
nod,
right.
Nod.
BA.
Oh, no, 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 no.
I also picked up a wired controller for the many arcade games I seem to have picked up on Steam. It's not a proper twin sticky one, it's an arcade beat 'em up controller, but I realised I have
It's
like
not-
Rogue Legacy.
It's not an Xbox pad then.
It is an Xbox pad,
Oh, okay.
but it's a third party Street Fighter one. But I
Which
realised
third
I have
party?
nothing to play like Binding of Isaac, Rogue Legacy, all of the 8-bitty
twin stick
kind of
shooters on.
games. The arcade games that I got,
Yeah, Binding of Isaac, the twin stick shooter.
which
Yep.
isn't really a twin stick shooter.
Well, it kind of is. It's just not as fast as other twin stick shooters.
Well, it's WASD and arrow keys, so it's not
So it's twin
a
stick.
way.
Yeah. Much like Beat Hazard or any other thing where you move with one set of keys and you choose direction to fire with the other set of keys.
Or one
Oh
analog
hell
stick
no!
and the
Beat
other
Hazard. I
analog
use the twin sticks.
stick. Yeah, exactly. Well, Binding of Isaac is the same deal.
Yeah.
It's a twin stick shooter.
It's not because it's 4 directions.
But you
Still
still use the left stick for movement and the right stick for firing.
Or the analog pad and buttons.
That's
You
still
correct.
twin stick.
It still counts.
Still twin stick.
Even though no sticks are involved.
Well, I
Hey,
don't
we
know
had
how.
twin stick shooters on the Commodore 64, and that thing only had one fucking stick.
Back in my day, we played twin sticks with 2 lollipop sticks. And made the noises with ourselves. Pew 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 pew.
We used
not
the
that old.
Atari 2600
Thus
Le
ends another
Stick.
tale of Alex and Uncle Touchy.
Enough about your 2 bromances, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I've done. I mean Monday this week today. Holy shit! How much work did we get?
None, I had the day off.
I
That's unemployed.
I was in, and it was like everybody wanted to call at the same time.
And now Pete understands why I booked the first week in January off.
Good plan. But yeah, that's my week. How has TK's New Year week been?
Well, New Year's Day, Eve Day, that midnighty thing, I spent doing things I wanted to do, which involved getting YouTube videos up online, which was good because my YouTube channel had been rather neglected, and it appreciated the influx of video.
Yes, if people want to see what what TK Tiger does in his spare time, go to TigerTails TV
On YouTube, yeah.
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 If you enjoy Marshmallow, you'll enjoy TK.
I enjoy Marshmallow.
That fireman and trains,
Mostly trains and Marshmallow, yeah. Well, yeah.
mostly trains.
And some Minecraft as well.
Yes.
Something on there for everyone. Including the shearing
So-
song.
Yes.
There is an engine revving outside. It's quite loud.
I can hear it.
You just wanna, I hope it's a motorbike, because if someone's got a car like that, I'm just going to put your head at the door and go, "Will you fuck off already? We're trying to record here." Inconsiderate
So what else have
peasants.
you done over this last week?
Well, I saw the New Year's in with BBC, so I listened to the Queen concert thing and watched the fireworks because they were pretty and stuff. The rest of the week has been rather chill. I went back to work for a couple of days. I had an extra day off actually because they were said, "We're so quiet. Who wants an extra day off? Who's got a holiday?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've got enough holiday to have an extra day off. Why not? Fuck it." So I had a day off. So I was in on one day, off on the next day, in on the next day, off on New Year's Day, and then in for the Friday.
Yep.
So it was kind of a enough jobby. Weird. And now I'm starting my week off. Today was awesome. Awesome Games Done Quick has begun. So I've been
Ooh.
watching that.
It has begun.
With a complimentary Humble Bundle.
Indeed, there's a humble wonderful.
That is complementary, not complimentary.
Yes, it goes with
No,
it.
no,
It
no,
isn't
so
free.
no, complimentary, not complementary.
Yeah, it goes with it. It
There.
isn't free.
Yes.
Although you could just pay $1. So it's nearly free. Except
Yeah.
if you just want to pay $1, I've already got most of the games in that list. So it's like, shit. This humble bundle does nothing for me. This is crap. Especially after the Steam sales. How dare you? But the mobile bundles are looking quite tasty. So I'm going, maybe I'll do this.
TK, what bundle would do after the Steam sales? Because seriously, it's literally, and here's all of the things you ever want.
Well, a bundle with Duke Nukem 3D and Shadow Warrior in it is a bit sucky because I bought them independently. Because they were games I played when I was in college. And I was like, fuck yeah, I want to own these legitimately for once.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. What's Germany getting as the Duke Nukem Megaton Edition? They're not allowed Duke Nukem.
No, they're getting something else when it comes free.
Why are they not allowed Duke Nukem?
Reasons.
Because reasons / Nicolas Cage.
Disclaimer, maybe not Nicolas Cage.
Probably not.
I got tired of doing reasons for everything, so I just went, because Nicolas Cage.
That's a good enough reason for most things, I'll grant you.
It really is.
But no, for the rest of the week, it's been reasonably quiet. Before New Year's, I was just chilling and trying not to do any work. And then after New Year's, I've been making YouTube videos. And doing the thing I'm going to be reviewing for Done and Dusted.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah.
I also saw who commented on it.
Mm.
It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
But I'll come to that a bit later on in the show.
I know it's yours.
But yeah, I mean, it's been rather fun this week, I must admit. And a little bit later on this week, I'll be going up north to visit Wardy, who
Yes.
I haven't seen for fucking ages. And this has been the year of fulfilling all the promises of visiting people. Late last year, after I'd got out of debt, I managed to go up and visit Kai, because I said I've always said I'd go and visit him when I paid off my debts. And so I've done that. And this year it's up visiting Wardy, because I said I'd go up and visit him when I'd cleared off my debts. And now I've cleared off my debts, and now I'm going up to visit Wardy.
Just make sure you don't create more debts.
No, this is all prepaid for with cash. Because I've booked my train times according to when it's cheapest to travel. Consequently, I'm leaving Southampton at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yay,
Yeah.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Getting into Chesterfield about 11:15. Going, fuck, I've got to go through
Okay.
London. I was actually shitting myself about the London trip because I was looking at the National Rail website going, it seems I only have just about half an hour to traverse through the tube network to get from Waterloo to St Pancras.
Nice.
That's tight. Have a look at how quick it is. It's about 20 minutes. And I was looking at the thing going, I'll get into Waterloo at this time, and then about 20 minutes
Bleh,
later
honey.
is my train. Yay! This is gonna be fun. I had a look again a couple of nights ago, and then realised I was misreading it. And the 20 minutes it was quoting me on the National Rail website was the journey time through the tube, as expected, not the time the train leave to go to Chesterfield. And in fact, I've got the best part of an hour between trains. So I've got plenty of time to navigate through the tube network. So all is good. All is good. So yeah, I'll be back with a report on North. And although Wardy doesn't know this yet, I'm going to suggest popping up to see the National Railway Museum. Because it's only about an hour and a half drive from his place. And I've never been there before. I don't know if he has. But I'd quite like to see it. And it's going to be the closest chance I get. Because I had a look at train prices going from Southampton. And there is a direct train. And it's not too expensive. It's about 40 quid each way, if booked in advance.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. It's cheaper if you're going on a weekend to go up on Saturday and come back on the same Saturday. So
Nice.
80 quid for travel then. If you decide that you want to stay overnight, it's quite more expensive by train because there are no direct trains home on Sunday, and that pushes the price quite considerably higher. So I was like, yeah, so it's going to be a day trip. So spending all day on the train to go and see a railway museum. Yeah, I'm going to see if Woody wants to go to the National Railway Museum if the weather's not too good. It's like, Woody, it's raining. Should we go up to York? It's only like an hour and a half north of Chesterfield. Which surprised me. I thought Chesterfield was more north than the Midlands, but apparently it's pretty much slap bang in the middle of the Midlands. Then you've got to go up a bit to get to York.
But that's more stuff to come in 2014.
Yeah, well, my week hasn't been all that much because I've been doing my done and dusted thing and watching Awesome Games Done Quick for the rest of this week. So
Yeah, so Felis,
Yes, I am here and completely paying attention.
your week.
that's not
No,
very nice.
I find myself moderately healthy.
Get on with it.
My week has been spent endlessly playing games next to my girlfriend. To the
Not
point
with.
where we weren't sure what day it was, we're convinced it was New Year's Eve, bought a fancy dinner and some alcohol, had it at midnight, and then the next day wondered why there were so many fireworks going off.
Don't worry, we've already berated
They've
him.
already had a
We've
good
mocked
chuckle.
him extravagantly for that one.
What, you never spent so long playing games, you lost all concept of time,
I
and have no
will-
interest in finding out if it is the right day.
I will say again, you're playing games on a device that tells you your date.
Does the PlayStation tell you the date?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Where?
The top left-hand corner.
Yes.
Top right-hand corner,
Does it
sorry.
do- Well, I'm not bothering to look at that.
Oh, you can't use that excuse. Wait, where does it tell me? Well, I wasn't looking there.
We weren't even checking the time. We were just sat there going, oh, look.
Well, how did you know it was midnight if you weren't checking the time?
Huh? I was looking on the phone.
Which tells you what day it is on it.
I know, don't.
Okay, yeah.
looking at the date,
What
I was
else
looking
did
at
you
the
do on your week,
giant
Felix?
time
No,
numbers.
no.
Giant time
Your
numbers. And the date is tiny and
Your
underneath.
week?
My week has
Your
actually
week?
been spent being non-productive, but kind of productive at the same time.
Awesome.
You know, including tonight's show, I'll have uploaded, on average, one YouTube video per day this year.
Whereas I have been... Oh, well, now that, our house is free of vermin and pests, I will
Harsh,
actually be
but
sitting
true.
down. So on the 14th, I'm waiting on some music to come back from a composer guy thing. But on the 14th, there will be Bad Fanfic Theatre. And then every fortnight
Bloody
after the
hell.
14th, there will be a new Bad Fanfic Theatre.
My God.
And if not, these guys will actually are allowed to physically kick me.
Kick him.
So if there's not, you guys are allowed to physically kick me and go, get on with it!
Don't worry, I'll make sure there's enough noise in the house so he can't do it.
Oh, that's harsh.
In which case, you're all allowed to nerf dart, Alex. I'll buy a rhino.
Alex, how has your week been?
Yeah, how was your week? Because I kind of said 4 days ago that I was coming home, that I didn't.
It's been a very slow week. Nothing's happened.
Because 4 days ago I said I was coming home.
Yeah, those 4 days, nothing.
It takes
has
him a long
happened.
time to get home.
It's a case of, we're waking up at 8, 9 o'clock in the evening and it's like going, it's too cold and I can't be fucked to carry all this stuff back.
So I will just
I'll
squat.
just play another 6 hours of Dragon Age multiplayer and wonder how the fuck I played 6 hours of Dragon Age multiplayer. Alex, continue.
That's it. There's nothing has happened in my week. I went to see The Hobbit on New Year's Eve, but I didn't go out.
The original Hobbit?
No,
No, the newest.
The new one.
The Battle of
the
Five
Battle of
Armies.
Five Fillers.
Oh, that reminds
I
me.
mean, Battle of
Has
Five
anybody else
Armies.
caught the latest trailer for the latest trailer of Age of Ultron?
No.
No.
Because remember the thing that last year gave us, right? Trailers for trailers.
No, they have to have a proper trailer out.
No. The actual trailer hits us on the 17th, I think.
Okay.
This is a 30-second trailer to let us know that there's a trailer coming out.
It's hype.
That's okay, because Ed Boon announces an announcement, so why not?
Yeah.
I sort of, that's my one peeve of last year, is that last year introduced us with high-profile trailers for trailers.
Hype.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised Star Wars didn't do that, actually.
Yeah, I'm surprised they built the fucking FIFA droid.
They had one teaser picture, the leaked pictures of the ships, and then the trailer.
Well,
And that's
the
been
best
pretty much it.
endorsement was still Kevin Smith just saying he was crying tears of joy when he came off the set.
I quite liked the FIFA droid. I thought he was cute. And I like the fact that he's a practical effect as well.
Yeah, that's the most
Yeah.
amazing thing about it. He looks like a CG effect, but no.
How the hell do they get that to work? I want to know the details behind that thing.
Inquiring minds wish to know.
Exactly.
Buy the DVD or the
Although
Blu-ray with
the
the extra
Ant-Man-
features. But anyway, I
Ant-Man
sensed
trailer
the reviews of the week have gone.
Yes.
Are you trying to suggest maybe we move on to a segment?
Well, we've broken shit. We've done the reviews of the week, so let's
We
get on to a
fixed it
segment.
as well,
then.
yeah. I've actually fixed the thing. Check me out, my big bad self. I know, right?
Now it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
My
Yeah, so this is where we trawl through the internet to find interesting game news, any news at times, to bring to you, our lovely listeners.
Right, my gaming
With-
news is also about done and dusted, so I'm going to take this opportunity to go to the loo while you lot talk about news.
Jolly good.
TK
Well,
never
one-
does any news.
One thing that has pretty much kind of put a crimp in my style is the fact that CVG is pretty much ended,
CVG.
and it's being computer games and videos. Computer video games magazine. You know, part of Future Publishing.
Oh, you mean yet another magazine? Oh well.
It also had an online site, but that's also being closed down and rolled into Games Radar Plus, along with a load of other future publishing stuff, which also included what me and TK used to enjoy on the PlayStation, the free PlayStation stuff. So I've been having to spread my net for gaming news, but one thing is PlayStation Now is getting the subscription options this month.
Yes. It's $20 a month and $45 for 3 months. I'm not sure what that's
Yeah.
translating into, but apparently they have 100 titles fully working.
Well,
for the PlayStation
access
3.
to hundreds of PS3 games online using the PS4, and it will
Well, it
come
says
to other
access to
PlayStation
hundreds,
Now
but-
enabled devices at a later date.
As it stands right now, there are 100 confirmed titles that are properly working available at the launch.
But they've effectively now confirmed it's going to be a subscription fee rather than renting per game.
Yeah, which is sad. There's been
Yeah.
mixed responses to this sort of last-minute switch out.
Well, I think they've done enough testing, but
On the other
the
hand,
costing
their original beta renting prices were ridiculous.
silly. Yeah.
We covered that back in September?
Last year.
Was it I want to say September.
Just say last year, it covers
Yeah.
everything. But yeah, I mean, the fact it's like $20 a month, or if you pay the 3-month, $15 a month, that will probably somehow work out at an equivalent amount because, you know, digital transfer will do. It seems a bit costly when you can get access to other things that are
Yeah,
cheaper.
adds
And
to
the worst thing is this is going to be kind of competing with one of the biggest rental people in the US, which is Gamefly, who do this much better.
I think OnLive is still going as well.
There is a few. Even
OnLive is
Amazon.
the most established one because they're vaguely more reliable, where they can be used in almost anything.
On live is still live.
Is it? Yeah. But yeah, the downside to this is also as well that you also need to be paying out for good enough interwebs to do this. You need big tubes.
Yeah, I fathomed. But at least it's coming to America, so we'll see how badly it gets ballsed up over there. News from the room.
News from the room. Well, Alex, are you doing the IGN thing?
No, why would I do anything about IGN?
To laugh.
Even then, it's not news worth reporting on.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
I'll
actually,
do...
there's one part worth reporting on it. Could you go first?
No, go on, go.
No,
hurry up.
after you do.
Ladies.
Ubisoft has sent out a questionnaire to its players, which I assume is through their service, which is terrible. But, you play. They are asking...
Do you know how terrible it was trying to get Assassin's Creed 2 to work on Steam?
Felix, we've heard.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. They sent a questionnaire asking what people would like to see in future Far Cry games. Now, by this they mean the setting. So they had like kind of normal stuff. I say normal stuff. It was like, real world locations including Peru, Alaska, and historical settings such as the Vietnam War and old-style West 19th century America.
And that one I would actually kind of like to see.
Yeah,
My Red Dead HD fix needs filling.
I do like Western stuff.
And the last Red Dead games, which everything after Redemption has been a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
Red Dead, I haven't made any Red Dead. That's oh no, it's the other Call of Juarez games. Never mind.
Yeah. Anyway, there are other possibilities on this survey as well. Apparently there is one they have put on there. It's like, would you like a Far Cry game where you can fight against or join vampires? A Mad Max style post-apocalyptic world. A Far Cry game set in modern day on a Jurassic Park style island with the dinosaurs.
Which I say is kind of similar to the original Far Cry concept with the gene mutant things.
Or Far Cry with zombies, but like that's kind of
that kind of covers half of the mutant things as well.
Yeah.
I originally thought it was going to be for expansions. It's like, all of these would be awesome ideas for standalone expansions, a la Blood Dragon.
But Ubisoft have been known to, in the past, experiment with Far Cry. They as you said, the genetic experiment.
They've taken
ones.
it from a B-movie sci-fi horror thing in the first couple of games, the whole Far Cry 1 franchise. Then took it more towards conflict, real-world thing in Far Cry 2, complete with bugs that let the whole world burn.
Yeah.
And they sort of moved it more towards a survival open-world thing with action movie elements before Far Cry 3 onwards.
Yeah. And,
Which is kind of fun, watching them take risks with a franchise.
stuff like, Blood Dragon. So it's possible that we could see
originally,
some sort of crazy game.
Far Cry was kind of like weird because it was a AAA franchise, but niche enough they could afford to take a risk with it because it wasn't overly
Well, it was
popular.
originally a benchmark game, like the Crisis set. It was designed to push, although when you play it you don't know how, to push PCs, because it's not exactly the deepest of story,
Well, that's
it's
because,
not the best of shooters.
It's the same company. It's Crytek, so yeah, it's the same benchmark engine they were using. But Far Cry was actually the more successful of their franchise. But again, Ubisoft could afford to say, take some risks with it.
Yeah, see what happens.
Whereas Crysis sort of went less of the open world thing and started to go towards the more safer routes, but with streamlined gameplay. So that was kind of like a trade-off that was worth it.
Which is a shame. Moving
it's
on,
almost worth
Steam apparently hits a new record for concurrent users with 8.5 million concurrent users on.
PC gaming is dead.
PC Master Race. The Master.
And this was broken on January the 1st.
You mean the day where they had their final sales?
I'm trying to think if this
Final
is people that are
sales.
logged into the client or people that are in-game.
Probably means logged into the client. Let me look at the article.
And again, most people who have Steam are usually playing some games that they've bought.
Well, I think it's everything, the store and the service. They broke it January 1st, round about 10 past 11 in the morning, with 8,500,245. Previous to that, it was 8,020,700 people back in June 2014, and that was the summer sales. Most popular game on Steam is Dota 2,
Oh, really?
followed by Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Team Fortress 2 still, and Football Manager 2015.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Remember
Mhm.
at that time I was looking up the Steam stats, what's being played, and at any given time you could find multiple tens of thousands of matches for Counter-Strike Global Offensive,
Oh yeah,
which was
yeah.
surprising.
I love how the peak, like, user times are during the 2 sales they have during the year.
I know. It's almost a coincidence, isn't
I
it?
know, right?
Who'd have thunk it?
Although,
Any further news from the room?
do you know what the most unwanted game of this Christmas just gone was?
White Tower
Superman 64.
No. Well, this has basically gone on. Which game has been the most traded in on websites like Music Magpie and
Final
CS?
Fantasy 15.
Nope. Call of Duty Ghosts
Ah.
with over 43,000 copies
Wow.
traded in on Christmas and Boxing Day.
Well, Ghosts did get a panning. Quite a
Let's say
severe
the,
panning, and that wasn't just critical panning.
Black Flag and Grand Theft Auto 4 so were the top games sold to the site during that period. And GTA 5 was the second most traded game.
Doesn't surprise me. People, the highest, the most biggest new thing is always the one that gets
Just
pumped around a lot.
so TK can laugh. The most traded in electronics. This is the UK site, it's Music Magpie.
Yeah.
So 31,443 Xbox 360s were the most traded. After that, iPhone 4S, iPhone 4, and then original Nintendo Wii's and Samsung Galaxy.
See, I've been tempted to pick up an original Wii.
It's worth it.
But
you
it's-
can pick one up for a pittance.
Oh yeah, they're about 40 quid on CX, and it's.
Yeah.
I want to try putting the homebrew console on it and seeing what happens. The homebrew channel.
You have homebrew Wii.
Yes, Pete. I think that's something we all have. Except most of us just get rid of it. We're not as resourceful as to recycle.
I get mine from a
Yeah.
microbrewery.
Uh-huh. That's no way to...
Moving.
Having a quick bit about Steam.
Ew.
Also, the beta client for Steam
Yeah.
has
I
a
use-
long requested update, which will probably make its way obviously into the normal one. And that is that there is now a frame rate counter for
Oh,
PC
really?
games. Yep. So anything you play in through Steam now has, on the beta for now, an inbuilt frame rate counter, which people are wanting because they don't want to have to use fraps.
I see.
Which is kind of useful because, I mean, Fraps is one of the things that is used for benchmarking.
That is the only thing people really use it nowadays for, when there are so many other options.
Again, the approach, everything else out there has a smaller footprint than Fraps does.
Yeah.
It's just the most accessible. I mean, DX3, even at the most user-friendly settings, is a smaller processor footprint.
Yeah,
I
but I
use
mostly
DS.
use mine for recording until I can afford to
If
buy.
you've upgraded a
more-
graphics card in the last couple of years, with the ATI, you've got the MSI thing built into Afterburner, which is a recording thing. And if you're on NVIDIA, you can record straight off of the chip.
Yep.
The shadow play.
Yeah, your video encoding chip is usually sat there doing nothing during games. So they went, let's just get it to record and compress video on the fly. You lose maybe
On
5
certain
frames.
graphic cards.
Everything after a certain point can use it.
Yes, after a certain point.
Yeah, this certain point was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years does seem like a long time until you start looking at how far they push high-end cards. But anyway,
Most people
moving on,
upgrade every 3 to 4
ex-Battlefield
years.
devs apparently are revealing a new space survival sim with permadeath. And this is on Kickstarter.
Ooh.
Yep, it's from Fugitive Games. They're seeking $85,000, and it's a space sim called Into the Stars. Let's see. So these are the guys who are behind Battlefield, Medal of Honor, Lost Planet. It's a new studio called Fugitive Games, and it announced on Monday, based in Santa Monica, California, that the four-man studio, which is scary as heck, is on work at its first project, an ambitious-looking open-world space survival sim. And that's for the PC and Mac. The game will feature original score from Mass Effect and Call of Duty composer Jack Wall. It's already in development, and they're just looking for the money to finish the project for a release July this year. You take on the role of a captain who soars through the solar system on a ship called Arc 13 in search of a new home for humanity. You outfit your ship, choose a crew, scavenge resources, and you do all of this while simultaneously fighting an evil force that is constantly pursuing you.
Naturally.
As you do. So yeah, check it out on the Kickstarter page. It looks interesting. It's kind of inspired by FTL and Out There, and they say it's like a modern version of the Oregon Trail in that you're struggling for survival against environmental forces, as well as obviously
and then you die of
big
space
aliens.
dysentery.
Of course.
I knew I shouldn't have eaten at Space Wendy's.
More news from the room.
Yeah.
That was Battlefield, right?
That was from the developers.
Yep.
of...
Well, I've got a little thing about the Battlefield 4 developers.
Ew.
It's about DICE. Now, there have been lots of problems with Battlefield 4 on the PC that have plagued
Really?
the community. Yes. If I have a list of them here, that
Well, you know some of the Battlefield 3 glitches that were still there in main play, right?
Yep.
Like when you're crouching and suddenly you turn into a distended walrus slithering thing.
Yeah, well, basically, a lot of players are pissed off about these reasons, such as the admins are unhappy about changes being made in the game. Admins use the forums, the official forums, to communicate issues but they're being ignored. There are hidden patches, and they're usually without warning. They get patch notes way too late. And no consistency in running servers. There's too many restrictions in server presets. It just seems like there's a huge loads of issues where DICE aren't really communicating with their community. And so, to fight against this, on the 3rd of January, which was 2 days ago, which was a Saturday, the various clans and servers of the players of Battlefield 4 banded together under a banner called We Are Battlefield and decided to take off all of their servers.
As you do.
Yeah, a massive closure of servers to get the attention of DICE, which was about 132 servers, resulting in, was it 7,501 player slots.
Wow.
Yeah, you can get a surprising number of people on a Battlefield server. It's not as big as a planet-side server, but still.
They say they don't expect the protest to cause them to act, but they hope that it will get their attention.
Well, I mean, if there's any income that's been generated by these servers, then fuck yeah. Because, we're waiting on Battlefield 5, maybe?
Well, no, they're not going to be losing
Hardline.
any income from these servers, but it's basically going to be a thing of, oh fuck, so many people aren't playing. How are we going to push the next bunch of DLC in the next game on them? We might lose players for good over this.
Well, fingers crossed it remains an amicable process of, protests and not complete fuckery where there's hacking and shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like the protests from the end of City of Heroes, where, people just all log into one server. We lagged
All
out
log in.
Atlas Park.
Or log into the queue for that server. Moving on, Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is teased. So a new image appeared on the website suggesting a third game. By image, scary eyes, bare nose, and I am still here.
Well, if you've been paying any attention to Scott's site over the last month, you'll have noticed that it's been offline, apparently. If you have saved said offline image and run it through an image editor and brightened it up, you'll have seen in the bottom right-hand corner a distinctive number 3 hidden away. And if you'd looked in the code, you'd have seen more evidence of a third Five Nights at Freddy's being in production.
Oh my god, Half-Life 2 Episode 3 confirmed?
Oh, totally.
No.
And so...
But it's nice to see a third game, because these games are being turned around really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 came out in November.
Yeah,
Around about November the 21st-ish.
Makes me wonder if he's going to risk a bit of burnout on this.
Well, let's be honest, they're not exactly the most time-expensive games to make.
No,
Yeah,
not really.
not.
And I think what it is, it's a case of where they are so quick and cheap and easy to knock out effectively, that I don't really think he expected the first one to be as popular as it did. So now he's going to...
Milk it.
Yeah, burn this wave hard and fast, just to get out what he can from it
Well,
when it's still popular.
Its popularity is mostly because YouTube personalities.
Yeah. And
When
so if he,
PewDiePie shrieks at something, it will sell in the thousands.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if he can
It's
keep
not just the
content
shrieking,
coming,
it's the experience of trying to dig through it, and because there was the challenge mode in the second one. And suddenly it was a case of,
what do you
well,
mean the
now we
challenge
can
mode?
make
Do you mean
it
Seventh Night?
harder.
The Seventh Night, which was in the first one as well.
I never saw the Seventh Night on the first one.
It was there. And if you chose 1987, it would show you Golden Freddy in the death animation, and then crash your game. Thanks, Scott. It does the same on the
Any-
Android version as well.
Any more news from the room?
Yeah, go on, Felix.
I will go on for Square Enix's March fiscal year report.
Oh yes, it's that time again.
Yep.
Showed that between their 3 major MMOs, Final Fantasy XIV, Realm Reborn, Final Fantasy XI, and Dragon Quest X, they have a player base of 1 million subscribers altogether. Which isn't bad.
Across 3 games.
Across 3 games, though.
Well, considering Final Fantasy XI is not supported anymore,
It's actually still going.
I thought they closed it down and moved everyone over to 14.
No,
It has entered its 13th year of operation.
You fucking hell.
Yeah,
It's-
I
it's
played it
still
when it was
going.
new. I was the only person
Ish.
that could run it without lagging out of my circle of friends when it was new.
If I just crash everything in my room,
If I remember correctly, my laptop at the time was a HP Pavilion ZD8000EA.
words and numbers.
there's my copy of it. Final Fantasy XI for the PC, including Rise of the Zilart and Chains of Promethea.
So if I sort of like stopped playing at the point where everybody had come across, the usual MMO thing where it's all endgame players that are going, everybody must be spec'd exactly like this.
You mean the Japanese?
Everybody. At one point, I was only about level 15 at one point, and I was not able to find a group just because I had a different race than usual for a red mage class. And I didn't have specific gear. And that's the point where I just sort of burned out on it. But it's actually kind of weird because in 2013, Final Fantasy XIV had 1.5 million registered users. And this finally answers the question as to how many people are still playing it.
I will just say though, Fetus, you're going to have to guide my hand on the camera because I can't see myself.
Okay.
Can we see the guidebook?
Bring it
Yeah.
closer a bit. Closer a bit. There you go. Now we can generally gauge the thickness of it.
That's the instruction manual for Final Fantasy XI. That's all in English. That's
I love
not the
this.
multi-language user guide thing. That is the instruction manual in one language.
On this,
It's a Dickens novel. Fantastic Mr. Fox is a shorter book than this instruction manual.
which is, I still always find it hilarious that Dickens' most famous book is one that he wrote just because he needed some rent money.
I thought that one famous was most of them.
Moving on, in
no,
terms of
hang on,
gaming news.
Okay, this is hilarious because the banner ad on this website that I've got the news from. The banner ad is Final Fantasy XIV Gil, 1,500 orders daily, top seller site, 12 years XP. What?
How could you put what?
Golden.
Anyway, so the Tekken Saudi Arabian fighter has been shown and confirmed. His name is going to be Shaheen. And the concept art is interesting, to say the least. It's kind of like a combination of a Middle Ages proper Arab with Assassin's Creed kind of guy, only with trousers and a pair of decent shoes.
I like the way you
It
say
looks
he's
weird.
a proper Arab, as if you're in any kind of position to judge what and what is not an Arab.
Well, actually, proper Middle Eastern Arab features.
Again, with the word
And-
proper. It's not for you to
Yes.
say what is proper.
Not Americanized. Happy?
I'd say more kind of traditional. That'd be the word.
That'd be the word. But yeah, I mean, they've got the concept art out there. They've got a concept image. I don't know if there's any gameplay footage of him, but they're certainly saying if he's popular and well received in the Middle Eastern Tekken fan community, there's a possibility that the character will be either considerably changed or kept hold of. If they don't like it, then they'll let go of the idea entirely.
Fair enough.
And the response has been pretty mixed so far.
Understandable.
Can we just have them all for Europe, please? I don't care if the rest of the world sees them or not. Can we just have them all? Because I'd quite like to play all these characters. They sound interesting.
So long as they're not broken ass pieces of crap, that's
It's
fine.
Tekken, of course they're going to be broken ass pieces of crap.
Yeah,
All with massive loading times.
I have to say, that's the only thing I
is
hear
his
from
blood
TK now
type?
is he's playing Tekken.
Nothing. He's a Robert.
Moving on,
Yeah, blood type
there's
is
some
WD-40.
Like
news.
Mr. Roboto.
Dear God.
Yes. According to a Thames Valley police press release, a self-confessed member of Lizard Squad has been arrested.
Thames Valley Police, yay.
Yeah. And the
Now-
Southeast Regional Organised Crime Unit.
To paraphrase this, his arrest was not specifically related to the outages. He has, however, said he's related to the group. So, not entirely sure exactly.
I'm pretty sure that's
What's
the
going-
guy who was the spokesman.
Don't know.
Was talking to the BBC.
Member 2.
Yeah.
This is Vinny Amari, who was arrested by police. He immediately went out to all the news outlets and said, "Yeah, look, here's the search warrant they gave me." You know, which shows that police were looking for evidence revealing email addresses, usernames, passwords, documents containing names associated with PayPal fraud, and also evidence for anything related to the hacking of PlayStation Network and Xbox Live systems over the Christmas period. They took his Xbox, his 5 phones, laptops, computers.
5
Yeah, he-
phones.
Yeah.
That's
He's
suspicious.
denying the charges, especially in response to the PayPal hacks. He just claims he's a spokesman and is not responsible.
He's
Right.
currently released on bail until March, when he will have his first hearing in Surrey.
Sorry.
At the same time, where is it? In Finland, they've picked up another person and are interrogating him at the behest of the FBI.
Yeah, this is a 17-year-old going by the name of Ryan. But he's not been arrested. He's just being questioned.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Well, let's put it this way: if this guy has any connection to Lizard Squad and they can find any information, I'm fairly confident that they are just going to wreck face. And I'll quite happily see the back end of these guys because I really don't like Lizard Squad.
No. No,
But anyway.
I was going to quickly say, so if you want something more light-hearted, you know who Ben Heck is, right?
His name
And
is
heck,
Mel.
Who the heck is he?
He makes shit.
He makes shit. He is a console wizard. Yeah, he's done customized portable laptop PlayStations, PS3s.
Oh, that's where I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He
He
does
actually made
customized pinball tables. He'll sell, not sell. He'll
He's-
give away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
his
his
stuff.
most famous one was a rather large ammo case that he'd converted into this huge Xbox setup for a Marine. He just
Cool.
yeah, this was over $1,000 worth of stuff
Wow.
that he'd packed into it, and he just gave it away to this
Yeah.
guy on deployment. His latest modification. Well, he's managed to get one of the original Atari 2600 cartridges from the landfill working again.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he's now managed to build an Xbox One tablet. Apparently, this was actually a really big challenge.
I'm not surprised. The Xbox One is huge.
Yeah, finding an LCD that would work with it was apparently the biggest challenge.
How's he powering it? Because the Xbox One has a power brick the size of Japan.
There's a series of 3 videos on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
But this
I would
guy-
probably suggest if anyone's interested, go to his channel on YouTube, The Ben Heck Show, and check it out. And there's a lot of stuff on there that's really cool, even if you're not a
And he'll
techie.
do more or less a rundown of how he did it as well. So, and you actually watch him just completely breaking down a console. At some points, even unsoldering things from the board to replace later.
Nice.
And you'll sit there and go, warranty.
You don't need no stinking warranty.
So, following on from the hacks, both PlayStation and Xbox have confirmed what they were offering to make up for the downtime. Sony extended the PlayStation Plus membership by 5 whole days and is offering 10% discount on the store.
To be applied
Basket.
at a later date.
Yes, that will be at a later date.
Presumably when the sale.
It's actually quite good. 10% discount to all network users. That's good for a one time at some point.
Plus an extra
Xbox.
5 days on the PS Plus, which is useful for me.
I'd still kind of like some sort of acknowledgement / apology of them outright lying to everybody going, no, everything is fine. It's just maintenance issues.
Everything
No.
is awesome.
Everything, when they said it was fine, everything technically was fine, because that's after they said that after King.com had stepped in and basically got Lizard Squad to stop. But
Yeah,
the knock-on
right.
effects of that were that everyone was basically trying to log in at the same time and effectively continuing the DDoS and wrecking their systems even more. So they had to go down for maintenance in order to
I
basically
think when they came
give
back, it's when they said that they come back from maintenance and said, well, everything's fixed. We don't know what it is. We'll have engineers look into it, but everyone should be fine.
Yeah, and in their view, everyone should have been fine, but everyone was still logging in, so everyone was still DDoSing the system. So everything wasn't fine. It was just the own users. That's exactly the same that happened to the
After I
Xbox.
said that, I sat there for 48 hours trying every hour or so to log in.
Just continuing the problem.
Every hour or so is not a continuing the problem, TK.
It is
Anyway.
one of many who's trying every so often.
It's the people who are just tapping X whilst they're reading
Yeah,
from their
refresh.
tablet.
Why is it logging?
Xbox has then updated their weekly deals and extended them to January the 6th. So the sales that were going on are continuing on until tomorrow, including games such as Alien Isolation, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Forza Horizon 2, yada yada yada.
The PSN sales that were due to finish around Christmas were also extended until New Year's. So they had an extra 3 or 4 days on sale as well. It's just their sales finished sooner.
Well, at least there's been some positive response off the back of this, although there is a lot of negative feeling now, especially towards Sony, because of everything that's happened, because of the hacks. And I've just got to question what's going to be happening on the back end of this, especially as we've now got PlayStation Now and all of the extra stuff that they're wanting to do online.
We shall see. Is
Yeah,
the
I
answer to
mean, if this happens again this year, what do you think?
that? Of course it's going to happen again this year.
It's been happening with increasing regularity across many services.
But we've seen better responses from a lot of companies, but with the PSN
I mean,
specifically.
Microsoft, I can actually see having an easier time to do it because I'm loath to say this, but because of the cloud, they can offload a lot of those incoming, inquiries and stuff to different servers so much more easily than Sony can, because they
Yeah,
do have
we'll
more
route all traffic to
experience.
Pirate Bay.
Also, you'll notice that Microsoft is an American company and Sony is a Japanese company, and the Japanese are very much like, nope, there is no problem here, no, go away. We will deal with it internally. Whereas the Americans are more like, rah, 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 noise.
Elderly Japanese businessmen are the worst.
Yeah, so
Any final pieces of news from the room?
Yes, the FCC will be voting on some new regulations on net neutrality this February.
Ooh.
This is according to the telecom regulator Tom Wheeler. He's intending to circulate a draft proposal internally with an eye towards approving the measure over the next month or so. They're not allowed to say what measures are being put in because it's still under deliberation and so on and so forth. FCC spokeswoman has confirmed that there's a February timetable, which has finally ended lots and lots of speculation as to when the fuck the FCC are making their next move. And in case you're wondering, that this whole problem is basically which title of the Telecoms Act the internet should be under.
Yeah.
Loads of people who make sense are saying, no, you should be under Title 2 for your regulations, the same as telecoms companies. Whereas people in the industry are sort of going, no, we're still totally Title 1, which means we should be allowed to do what we want with our bandwidths.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like there's going to be a whole load of arguments over that until it's properly hashed out, and I don't think it ever will be.
This pretty much does mean that
Words?
Yeah. At this point, it's pretty much inevitable that the FCC are going to have a showdown with Congress.
Well, there's going to be something that will break. But we're going to have to see what happens
the likes
this
of
year.
Ted Cruz, we're fine. But bear in mind, this is a Republican-controlled Senate, so...
So, is that it for the news? Are we wrapped up?
I can quickly... One more. Apparently, Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty are leaving IGN. Yay. In fact, quite a few employees have left. This is Greg Miller, Colin Moriarty, Nick Scarpino, and Tim Gettis. Because they want to leave IGN to focus on their YouTube channel. Kind of funny.
It doesn't surprise me.
However, Colin Moriarty and Greg Miller will both still be on IGN to continue the #1 PlayStation podcast Beyond. Podcast Beyond.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that these guys are ditching, because
They're not
if
journalists.
you've looked... Well, if you've looked at the gaming news websites, it's not really anything to do with gaming news at times.
No, it's personality driven.
Yeah, it's mostly editorials, which is actually
Annoying.
Editorials can be alright as long as there's actual news on that website. But
Yeah,
And
which
at
is
least
the
it's more
problem.
entertaining than the incredibly dry 90s, early 2000s. Here's a thing. I've been paid to promote this. Here's a thing.
Well, that was some of the issues they had to get over, but there's been a lot of good journos and editors and writers who have just been drifting away from the current format because it's not getting what us, the consumers, want out there, especially when you've got things where there's reviews over, say, for example, Bayonetta 2. Brilliant game by all accounts, but they downgrade it because they thought it was sexist.
No,
and
that was actually
misogynistic.
a lie. They didn't downgrade it over that at all. It was a side comment, which certain people then used to get advertising pulled from the website.
No, the actual review
Yeah,
that they put in there, they talked about
it.
a
Yeah,
large
they said,
chunk
"We feel
of it,
that
and
detracts
then
from
went
the
through,
feel
oh, lovely
of the game."
mechanics, and then debated the score and said, well, it's not going to be worth the highest score because it's XYZ.
Yeah, it took off basically 0.1 on a number point something scale.
But it was the sign that there was this big fact that was being put forward, and view and political standpoint
Yes, because
that
it
was kind of being
impossible
driven
to
more
have
than the
an
actual fact. It was
entirely
about the
objective
mechanics and stuff like
review,
that.
read. An entirely objective review would basically read, this game played, a button did this, it worked.
And it worked occasionally.
But no,
I'm
if
well
you-
aware of the issues with objective reviews, but
If you go
it's
back to that
when,
review, they never actually detracted points for saying that. They just said, we feel that, the whole tits and ass thing, sort of, it's annoying at this point, but the
They
game itself
actually
is
called
sound,
it-
so it gets this high score.
they actually called it gross misogynistic and blatant misogynistic something. They stated that this was that. It wasn't a case of we think it was, it's a case of this is that. That's the issue with the review.
But then again,
Hey,
who's been calling it all misogynistic and all that jazz?
What, Bayonetta?
Who's been the ones doing all the catcalling for it?
I don't know, because I've not read too
Again,
many reviews
the one
of
thing
this
that
one.
I read about this was the Polygon review, where it was literally they just mentioned this thing and said, we find it grating, but
I'm gonna say
It distracts us more than it's a fun thing, but we're not going to really take away any points for it. So
I'm gonna say, is it the
'Cause
same?
it's-
Is it the same people basically saying that women should be able to wear whatever way they want, and then cussing out a scientist for wearing a shirt with some naughty women on it?
actually, that's another thing where it turned out that the people defending him were hugely outnumbering the one or two people. Even he said, "Yeah, it's kind of like an insensitive thing, but I'm sorry." And
Yeah,
then
well,
people
he-
went overboard defending him after all of this.
Well, yeah, he broke down in tears. That's why.
Yeah.
If you actually watch the video, he was
had
crying.
a shit ton of crap because of this.
And so after his tearful apologies, that's when everyone else started going, actually, no, they can fuck off, and gave him all the support. But, so, you know, it is a double standard, though. And it's these things that I'm seeing more and more and more and more of. Whereas, like, you can't do anything these days without somebody saying that it's against some other group. And it's like, very soon it's going to be, you're breathing! That's against other people who need to breathe. You're taking up air that they could be breathing.
Which is kind of true with some people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there taking up entirely too much air.
But then let's put it this way: we are looking at, in England, this is going to be a big viewpoint year because we've got the elections coming. We've got decisions being made on net neutrality in America. We've got a whole load of stuff, and we've got the fact that this is going to be the first proper year out of the launch windows. Oh, I hope to God, of the next gen consoles.
You say the first proper year, as if they weren't all released in November 2013, and we haven't had the entirety of 2014.
Yeah, the game
Where we've
year
had the
games
beta
forgot.
games released.
Yeah, the year of nothing.
The year of
Year
Five Nights
of
at
hey, remember
Freddy's.
those games you're looking forward to? See you next fall, buddy.
You know those games that you're looking forward to? Well, they've all come out and none of them work. Sorry.
Oh, oh.
Oh, did we say we're releasing the
make
games
light of
now?
this, but there's been a lot
next
of
year.
anger about this.
Sorry, you're not getting Assassin's Creed Unity. You're getting a beta version of it.
You're not getting Assassin's Creed Unity. You're getting some of the upgraded effects from Beetlejuice.
You're not getting the free Drive Club because
Yeah.
but I think that's it for the gaming news.
Is that a hint?
Yes.
Son of a...
It's that time where the cast of TigerTails Radio reviews stuff badly. This is done and dusted.
Well, if I don't move it forward, you can't talk about your brand new furry fapping thingy.
It's not a brand new very fapping thingy. Jesus Christ. You're the
TK likes
reason
to
we...
play a round of FFF.
Well, you're the reason we can't have nice things in this fandom. That's what it is.
I'm
'Cause
not
of
the
people like
reason we
you.
can't have nice things in this fandom.
Yes, it is. It's entirely you. All of it. All of it. All of the ills. All of the ills in the world are down to you.
Just wait
Personally.
until TK buys an Oculus Rift and a Tenga Egg, and he'll be playing Fap Revolution.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, if I ever get
The-
Oculus Rift, I'm putting Pete in it and making him play Five Nights at Freddy's.
You mean
I will
you're putting it
scream
on
like a girl.
Pete and not putting Pete in it, right? Because that's a tight fit.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only thing I can be accused of is the running commentary on the bromance between Felis and Alex.
Which
It's
is
just
sort of
the
like taking on this thing where no matter what we do, it'll be construed.
Oh, naturally. That's how rumours
Oh, yeah.
start. And then become, shipped. Basically, Pete's shipping you two. That's all it is. He's basically
Oh, yeah.
he's a crap fanfic writer, and eventually he will write a series of books that will eventually become novelized and then serialized in film about your
Shit,
bromance.
yeah.
That's what he's doing. I think he wants to see it more than anybody else.
Yeah.
No,
I-
I quite happily comment and narrate it, but if that ever came to pass, it would be so awesome because it would be like, so, I wrote a book about you two and I've got the film rights and bye.
50 Shades of Felis.
Anybody writes it, we will narrate it.
Hey, if
Well,
it's
let's-
written about you two, I think you two should deserve some of the credits. Yeah, definitely some of the cut. Even if he does just change your names to it isn't about you.
Well, it's going to be very hard to, find original names from Angle, Dark Song and Felis.
What makes me laugh is
We have real names as well.
yeah, well, you could take the name Angel Blade for example. That's infinitely anagrammable. My favourite one being Dangleable, which didn't impress him in the slightest.
Yeah, about him.
This is why you should never give me magnetic letters in a fridge.
On the other hand, you could change some guy in a waistcoat to some guy in a gimp suit, and my god, I just fueled more, haven't I?
Yeah, sorry.
Well, you are in the black today.
Yeah, you've paid off all your debts. Well done. But yes, Xavier, have you got anything for Done and Dusted this week?
I have a little Steam game I picked up on Played, which is called Antichamber.
Ah. Is that ER or RE?
Anti-chamber.
ER.
Huh?
Anti-chamber.
Antichamber.
Yeah, exactly. Is it the UK spelling of chamber or is it the American spelling?
They're
ER.
the same, aren't they?
ER. No, we have RE.
Do we?
Yes.
Yes, we do, because we're sensible and can spell.
Ooh.
Mr. Angel Dark Song, anything for you?
No, it's been a boring week. I've done nothing.
Mr. Felis, anything for you?
Not as such. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Dragon Age, but most of that's been multiplayer, and that's kind of like a... Yeah, I could talk a bit about that. It'll be rambled and disjointed, because it's one of those things that you just play on autopilot, so...
Well, if you ramble and disjoint now, then.
Can I do it after Pete?
Okay, Pete, go on then.
Oh, God. So I picked up over in the Steam sales Antichamber, because this was one of the games I saw a while ago.
I've had it for
On
ages,
Nerd-
just not played it.
Yeah, on Nerd Cubed, I think it was
Yeah.
that I originally saw this.
It looked good, so I thought I'll pick it up. It's only like a $1.99 at the time.
Yeah. It was released back in January 2013. It was also sold in the Humble Indie Bundle 11 in 2014,
Maybe that's why I
February.
got it.
And effectively, it's a first-person puzzle platform game. The puzzles are based on
Who's
phenomena
wrestling?
that occur within impossible objects. So, you know those pictures of the cube that looks like it's built within itself, and the stairs that climb up and down and around,
Like
so-
MC
those
Escher
kind of
pictures.
pictures?
The MC Escher pictures.
Kind of, yeah. That it's based entirely on
I thought
that
it was about
kind of
Cube
logic.
2, the Hypercube.
Or Cube Zero.
Oh god, what was that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep
Yeah, I've seen all three of them.
Yeah, which you suffered through.
I don't know, I quite enjoyed the Cube films. You know, they're about the same level of enjoyment as the Saw movies, so take them or leave them, but yeah. Anyway, carry on.
So the gameplay is pretty standard. First person perspective, you wander through the levels. You have choices of places to explore, and it challenges your perception of exploration. So you'll run into infinite loops, but if you go backwards, you'll find progress. If you go backwards without looking, you'll find progress. If you look one way, you'll open doors. If you look another way, they'll close. There are signs that are basically helpful signs. There are signs that are unhelpful signs. You do pick up a block gun that allows you to pick up a block and place a block, which is useful for unlocking doors, but it can also be used for like building bridges, Minecraft style, and various other things. As you go through the map, you unlock the rooms, unlock the tips, and you've like got an hour and a half to try and escape. This isn't easy.
It doesn't sound
Because-
easy.
No, it's a lot of psychological and head stuff puzzles, and there's lots of little things in there that you can discover that doesn't help your progress until suddenly you look at it the right way. So, for example, there's a room that you'll discover which has a sign saying "walk." If you try and jump across it or run across it, you'll just fall down into a pit. If you actually walk across it, a bridge appears and you go across.
Oh, okay. That sounds
There
fair.
are rooms that you can go round and round in a circle that seem to lead nowhere, but if you go round fast enough, it allows you to get out to a different area. There are windows that if you go up to, so that the window fills your view,
Mhm.
you are then standing in the room which that window is looking into.
It's like a portal.
Kind of, but not.
Portals.
You're not going through anything. You're just changing your perspective. So when you step back, you're in the room that you were looking in.
Mhm.
And then you go round to the other side of the window and you can see a different room and you can do exactly the same thing.
Nice.
So there's a lot of these things, and there's a core set of puzzles that you need to do to then access the exit door, which I have not gotten to as yet. And then there's a further puzzle where you then use all the solving techniques you've used to capture a black cloud and enter a final area where they then do more stuff with it. I mean, this is stuff that I've looked at, but I've not even gotten to because the puzzles are head trippy.
Fair enough.
My biggest complaint is the sound.
What about it?
The reason, they've got the option screen in game so you can flick stuff around, but the sound option is this: on, off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I started looking to record this, and I suddenly realised I can't record with this sound turned on in any way, shape, or form. It's like loud.
I'd look into doing something that will capture microphone and game sounds simultaneously as different.
Like
channels.
I said, I'll have to buy some software later this year.
DX Story will record the game sound and your microphone as separate things that you can then mux together after you fiddle with the levels.
Perhaps, well, I think.
Fraps only does on Windows 7.
Yeah. DX Story, however, will do that across all.
You're not running Windows 7 yet?
8.1.
Oh, you mean it's not Windows 7 and above, it's only Windows... Ah, sucks.
He's
Literally
playing
Windows
fake
7.
Windows.
Dang, you need to dual boot, man.
Yeah, Pete, just grab DX Story, look up a couple of easy tutorials on how to do this. It will automatically record your microphone as a separate audio track.
Well, I'm looking at some other software that's actually designed for streaming and games recording that will do all of that.
Well, you
but
could do
that's
what we do here and just record the audio on a separate computer for your vocals and then just mix the two together later.
my separate computer at the moment doesn't boot. TK, you should know that.
Oh.
Actually, that's workable as long as you've got two different recording programs that have the same global hotkey for recording. That way,
Dear God.
you know
They don't
that
even
it
need
syncs
that.
up at the beginning.
You could just
think
have,
it's-
you could
anyway,
have separate keys and just press them
but that's-
simultaneously.
Anti-chamber. The graphics are kind of minimalistic. It's white background, line drawings. The colors are used sparingly, but to great effect. There's a lot of mood that you have as you go through there, and you can escape back to the start room anytime, and then go back to anywhere on the map to try different puzzles. So you can spend hours
Just
and
milling around.
hours.
So you mean hour and a half?
Oh yeah, because you've only got so long to actually get through there. But it does feel like hours. I mean, you'll stumble into a room, and there's a purple cube that goes around this room, just moves whilst you look at it. A solid 5 minutes I went round this room following this cube. 5 minutes of just watching this thing, thinking that something would happen. But it's a good game. It's well worth picking up off of Steam. It's a great mind-challenging puzzler, and for the cost of it, I would recommend it to our listeners. It's a lovely little thing. I don't know how far everyone would get, because I've gotten to a certain point and it's like, I'm just gonna go play something dumb and shootery. But it's very good, and I did enjoy it.
Fair enough.
So Felis,
He's not at the mic.
He's making the drinks.
Well, seeing as he's there, I will stall for some time until he comes back, and then we can actually... TK does have something. Go
I
ahead,
do have
TK.
something, yes. Now, as I say, my gaming news is also my done and dusted. Because my gaming news this week would have been that finally, after a couple of years in development, the first demo of Beast's Fury has been released for the PC. This is a 2D fighting game involving anthro-animal characters. Hence why Pete wants to fap over it. And it's
Slap him.
it's a toe-to-toe fighter in the realms of the old Mortal Kombat, the old Street Fighters, and a plethora of other games that Alex will no doubt be able to mention at the top of a hat. Yeah, he said, missing his cue. So, yeah, like, I don't know, your favourite game, Skullgirls. Yeah, and these are delightfully hand-drawn characters fighting in their lovely 2D environments. It's all rather good and shiny. Now, there's been a couple of like an Indiegogo campaign, a Kickstarter and things like that just to get the demo out. This has finally come to fruition, and the first free demo version is indeed available now. There'll be links on our website when the show notes go live with the rest of the thing. So you can pick up your copy of Beast's Fury. There are currently 2 playable characters for the demo. There is Don, which is Alex's favourite because he is a
cigar-smoking great white shark.
yes, that. And then there is also Vincent, a kind of hybrid cat-dog type character whose species is currently undetermined and undecipherable. But he's a bit purple. And he wears a trench coat. And was trained in the East, so his music is very Eastern. A bit like this back in music, actually. It's quite nice. Now, we've been waiting for this for quite some time. Hedgie funded this on Kickstarter. Well, put some money towards this on Kickstarter. He didn't single-handedly fund it.
Hedgie funded it. Wow, there goes the...
just solely. He just put all the money down. No, he put a portion of the money down to get Kickstarter updates and things.
Very small portion, but a portion nonetheless.
Indeed. Every little helps. Yeah. And so, yeah, Hedgie's been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this as well. I've been keeping my ear to the ground. I've been watching some of the developer streams as well, because the developers of this game are rather awesome and will actually stream the creation of the visuals and the creation of the actual game code itself. And the last couple of days I've been watching the developers actually code the game and fix demos, fix bugs that they've come across in the demo, which has been quite awesome.
I think we will get to how awesome they are as we progress.
Indeed, but the game itself is pretty much straight toe-to-toe fighting game. It's a nice 2D one, and very much in the ilk of, let's say, brutal... what's it called? Brutal Paws of Fury. Way back in the day. And this is the first proper 2D fighting game involving active animals that I've seen since then. And Pete, I was wondering, when you come down next week or whatever it is, you said you were happy to do a talks over things.
Yep.
How would you like some Brutal Paws of Fury to play?
Beast Fury or...
No, Brutal Paws of Fury. Yeah, the actual game.
Oh, the other ones.
The Mega CD version.
Oh god, yeah, that would be hilarious.
That would be great fun. Now I've managed to coax Sony Vegas into actually encoding at 60 frames a second. Fuck that. Oh, that's a whole other story.
But yeah, I mean, you can find Beast Fury, which is what we're talking about, at beastfury.com.
Indeed. They also have a For Affinity page. They also have YouTube channels, a Facebook group, a Twitter feed. They're on all the social networks, all of which you can find, most of which you can find from beastfury.com. I'll also include links in the show notes as well. There will actually be show notes this week. I've pre-typed them. And check me out. Now, I was chatting to the developers yesterday before TigerTails Gaming made a video of it yesterday evening, and actually managed to get up at about 4 o'clock this morning after 4 re-encodes and 2 YouTube uploads. Like I say, Sony Vegas doesn't want to put it to 60 frames a second very easily. I got there in the end. And I was chatting to the devs, and they asked if I could mention a couple of things. So, obviously, we know that it's a pre-demo, they've called it. It's basically as early alpha. I've got the wrong mug.
Yes, I put sugar in the wrong mug.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pre-demo which you can also download via their YouTube page, which will have the links for.
Yeah, the link will be in the show notes. But as I was saying, it's kind of really early alpha, early. So don't, when you download this, expect to be greeted with a fully working, spotless, clean game, because you're not going to find it. They've basically got a build that you can play. Effectively, there's still bugs, there's still collision detection issues and stuff, but they are regularly updating it. This is one of the other things I've asked if I can mention. It's getting regular updates. When you play the demo of the one that's currently available, it will actually say that the next update's due on the 9th of January. So just around the corner, indeed. And so hopefully on the next update they'll have a new date for when their next update's due for that, and they can keep it coming regularly forwards like that. The demo will eventually have online functionality. So you can take Vincent and Don online once you've actually managed to perfect some of their combos and moves and things, which is something to look forward to, because that's going to be interesting. And t-shirts...
I'm sure you can rig something up through Hamachi.
Indeed. And t-shirts are also on sale. So, or at least they're trying to get t-shirts on sale. So there'll be a link to that in the show notes as well. And if you've watched the TigerTails gaming video, you'll also notice in the description for both the YouTube video and on the website, there were all the same links as well, just so we can get this shit publicised, because damn it needs publicising. We need people to play this game, because I've played it, Hedgie's played it, we fucking love it. Alex, I subjected this to you just before the show. What did you think of what we've got so far?
It was enjoyable. It seems like they're actually trying to make a proper game.
I know. I think I arrived just as you broke it, so...
Yeah, we actually did manage to find a bug.
I thought you were laughing at me, but I'm assuming now it was actually...
No, it was the game.
It was.
It literally, as you knocked on the door, we discovered this glitch.
Yeah, it's literally, I knocked on the door and just hear them burst out into laughter. I'm like, oh, if they're laughing at me, I ain't making no drinks. Oh, shit, double negative.
But, yeah.
But no, it was the game. Literally, we had a Vincent v Vincent match, and Vincent is the most fleshed out of the characters so far, so he's got most of his special moves intact, and the animation's done for them. And I was trying to see if One, Vincent does the kind of hot fireball Hadouken. It's got a name. I can't remember what it is.
It's called a DP, which means different things in different circles.
Indeed, or at least in different quarter circles. Ho ho! But yeah, we're seeing if we could basically do one special move to go through this fireball. We found out that doing the special move crashes the game when it gets hit by said fireball when you're in the charging frames before the special move actually comes out.
Which means that it isn't invulnerable. It wouldn't have gone through.
But the game kind of went crashy, crashy, crashy instead. Actually, no, the game didn't necessarily crash. It locked up in the cinematic charging view mode, the camera locked, and the controls locked out, so we were just left listening to the awesome music, watching the idling frame of the character on screen, which made me happy because the music is epic. Absolutely love the music to Beast Fury so far. They've only had a couple of tracks out as menu music, and there's Vincent's stage music, which is the oriental one of the two stage music so far. And oh god, I'm in love with that tune. That tune is amazing. So yeah, I'm actually pretty much in love with the game so far. I've been really, really, really enjoying playing what we've had. The demo itself is no AI, so it is either 2-player or 1-player versus a dummy, effectively. And when you've got no one to play against,
What you mean is essentially is 2-player or training.
yeah, effectively. But it's not a training mode that you can change settings on. It is literally just standing. That's it. And that does get a little bit boring quite quickly. But when you've got a second player, this game really does pick up. And I imagine when AI is introduced, that will help, obviously. But
definitely. And then seeing what the story fight mode is going to be like.
I'm looking forward to the story mode. I've seen some of the animatics because they've shown that on their For Affinity page and on their YouTube channel.
We're going to be arranging some sort of tournament-y thingy.
Oh, hell yeah, I would.
Because I remember last time at the old house, me just beating everyone at thingy, beastie thing.
Please give a game title.
Yeah, please do.
I've forgotten the name of the game now. My brain's
Because I have the memory of what you're talking about.
No, it's Altered Beast.
No, it's something beast, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know what game you're
The
referring
game
to.
where you're playing as the dude to transform into animals.
Are you talking about Bloody Raw?
Bloody Raw. There we go.
Oh, thank God.
We didn't have a Bloody Raw tournament.
We did. It was an impromptu, not formally recorded thing.
We didn't, because we didn't have any systems that would run it, apart from MAME, and we weren't using MAME because
No,
all
we
the
had
PCs were...
one of the PS Bloody Raws. It's 4, I think. I remember it was in the living room, and everybody was bitching because I was stomping them as the unborn.
Was Fearless playing in the corner by himself by any chance?
No,
Which gaming night was this?
I've forgotten.
Which house was it in?
The old house.
That now starts to ring bells.
Yes, it does. It is you, me, Bungle, Wardy. I think Laz was there.
Vague
I
memories.
think I was with Selfie at the time. I think I stayed that night and played the 4 hours of fucking Kingdom Hearts 2 thing where you went, I'm going to give you the guidebook because otherwise you're going to spend 6 hours here.
Yeah, I like Kingdom Hearts 2. I've been playing that as well, actually. It's actually really quite fun still. But yeah, no, Beast's Fury so far I've really been getting on with. It does help when the developers are so easy to get in touch with as well. And they're literally there. They do the live stream so you can watch them create the game. And you can
and they comment on our videos.
An awesome thing that's happened in the last year.
Yeah, it's like if they've been funding on the Kickstarter and you're going, oh, well, I haven't heard any updates. Where's my money going? You can actually watch them produce the game live,
And they go, oh, that's where they're at.
and they will actually talk to you while they're busy doing work as well, which is just awesome because there's not that many people that I know who are busy streaming who will actually sit down and talk. You know, there seems to be people within the fandom. It's like you don't get to watch, say, Ubisoft making games on live stream. They're all too busy going, nope, you can't see our code, fuck off. Whereas the Beast Fury developers will actually turn around and talk about what they're doing, how they're doing it, what software they're using, and if you're looking to get into the industry, I've seen them give hints and tips to a couple of people about what they did to get started and stuff. It's been really quite an enjoyable couple of days watching their streams. I've watched some of the animation streams yonks ago, but never actually chatted. But yesterday, because I was thinking, I'm going to start making videos, I'm going to start talking to these guys and say hi and stuff. And yeah, popped in, said hi, had a quick little bit of a chat, and they're actually really pleasant people. So yeah, we really got to push this game because this game so far is awesome.
And if you want to see the game,
then check out www.tigertailsgaming.co.uk and watch the TigerTails gaming video of myself and Hedgie enjoying 15 minutes worth of Beast's Fury. We didn't crash the game like we did tonight. we actually managed to get away with a fairly clean run. But myself and Hedgie got down, we explored Don and Vincent's characters a bit.
Sorry.
You child.
Yes.
And we played the game a lot. It was enough 15 minutes. We goggled over the music because the music is gorgeous. We then had a chat about Foxamall's gender because random tangents are what we do best. And this
Yeah.
was
So go to the TigerTails gaming site, check it out, share it to your friends and that, just to get it out there because it sounds like a game that needs to have as much publicity as possible.
Yeah, get it, promote it, and don't forget, if you do play it and you do notice any bugs, get in contact with the developers because they're always looking for people to let them know of bug fixes and things that need to happen.
Guys, we broke your game.
Yeah, that's what I pretty much ended up saying today. I was after chatting to them on the thing, going, "Yeah, we've just been playing it, and I did a thing, we did a thing, and then it all broke, and this is how it broke." And they were like, "Well, add it to the to-do list." It's like, "Oh, okay, so that was a new one then."
It's when you call them for the 50th time and they sit there and go, "Seriously, again?"
Well, they do have a couple of, I think, like official testers and things who are supposed to be there to work these things out, but obviously they can't catch everything. I mean, look at Ubisoft. How many people were in their QA team and they couldn't catch most of the bugs in Unity? Seriously.
Yeah. Anyway, Felix, you wanted to talk about Dragon Age multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yes, you smoking your pipe. Dragon Age multiplayer?
You can hardly call him smoking a pipe when it's a fucking vape thing.
Yeah.
Sucking on
technically,
gas.
I'm meatloafing a pipe.
Yeah. I like malt loafing.
Anyway, off
Hang
you
on,
go.
did we mention the Beats Fury t-shirts on sale?
A couple of times, but
What?
just in case it hasn't sunk in.
Yes. Go and get the t-shirts. That's a good way to help promote this game and also get the developers a bit of money so they can continue making this game. You fuckers. That's you lot, not the developers. The developers are awesome. They are not fuckers. Carry on.
So, Felix, Dragon Age multiplayer.
Dragon Age multiplayer. This is obviously Dragon Age Inquisition. Because the other ones didn't have multiplayer. Did they? Dragon Age 2 have multiplayer?
No.
Oh,
No.
Okay, so it's essentially you and 3 other players are going to be going through a dungeon, 5 levels per dungeon with a random boss / stand fight. Very Diablo 3 styling.
Okay,
You
makes
don't
sense.
get to pick the characters from the classes from the main game. Instead, you have new classes which have their own mix and match of abilities from all the other skill trees in the game. Renamed
Okay.
versions, like the Keeper, your starting mage class, has elements of both the Spirit and the Lightning trees, with a little bit of the Knight Enchanter for some of the passives. It's the same thing. with your
So pretty
starting
much
archer.
words for all of our listeners, yeah.
Essentially, you mix and match bits from all of the different classes in the single-player campaign to make its own new classes that are completely separate, not quite as customizable. Do I have to break this down further?
Yes, please.
Right, single player, you have each character's archetype. Yeah, rogue, warrior, mage.
Yep. That.
Inside that,
with
you
so
have
far.
several subclasses that you can specialize, you mix and match from. Like
Yeah, now you've
Spirit
lost me.
Tree. You have different types of warrior, rogue, and thingy that
Yeah.
you can pick from.
Why?
So that
Surely
you can,
warrior is warrior.
well, no, you got the warrior, you got the sword and shield warrior,
Oh, for fuck's
and then
sake.
you got the two-handed warrior. On top of that, you got 2 other random things, which is Vanguard, which lets you taunt enemies and build guard for draw them away from everybody else.
Okay.
And the other one, which basically focuses on crowd control and flattening everybody so that everybody else can, hit their down foes.
Okay, now I'm with... Pardon me,
Yeah.
sorry.
And
Now
then
I'm
you've got
with
the
you.
specializations, like one that grows stronger the less health it's got, one that's like an anti-mage thing. So on and so forth.
Yep, now I'm with you.
Okay. And instead of being able to pick from any of the ability trees like you can in the single player, they've instead given you a set number of abilities across all of the classes for each archetype. And said, right, you've basically got 1 or 2 branch offs, but these are the only skills you can have. You can't get like lightning things if you're a necromancer. Does that make more sense now?
Kinda.
Okay, so basically
let's
you
carry
get to
on.
choose one of these classes and go through. You buddy up with other people, and you basically fight through a series of vaguely linear corridors with enemies until you reach the end. This does not sound like fun. But you end up playing it for so long, you suddenly start going, it's Sims syndrome. I don't remember having much fun, but I've been here for 8 hours. It's very much that sort of thing. Along the way, you've got they try to encourage you to have diversity in your group by having doors that only certain classes can unlock. So it's
Okay.
like an energy barrier thingy. Only a magey typey class can break it open, and you get extra loot, maybe a mini boss.
Right.
Or if it's a warrior type, it's a wall you just kick.
Fuck walls.
Yeah. and rogues and lockpicking.
Happy birthday to the wall.
Yeah. And it's essentially the downside of this though is that whilst you're doing this, it's peer-to-peer based for the networking.
Okay.
So if one person has slightly fucked up internet connection, you can end up rubber banding or
You
a
all
weird
have
bug,
a fucked up game.
or another weird bug where the network has it so that you're walking slowly and not as quick as everybody else, but jumping is still the normal speed.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm not sure what's with that.
some issues.
It slows down your walk animation, but the game is still running at full speed, unlike actual lag. Yeah, there are still some issues. Let's see. It's EA, so there's microtransactions.
Oh, wonderful.
Yay! In that you can buy platinum to unlock chests. Basically, you can take a set number of potions into battle, and your damage increase isn't based on level, it's based on the weapons you find. So you earn gold during a match, or you can buy the credits for them. And you can buy certain levels of chests that have numbers of items or potions in them.
To be honest, though, the gold you earn in one playthrough of a
Is
map.
just about enough for one large chest, which is 5 items, 5 potions.
Yeah.
So
really good,
it sounds an awful lot like the economy for Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, although
It actually plays a lot more like Diablo 3. It has that sort of vibe to it because in order to upgrade, you really must rely on the random number god. Because once you get chests with items, you could get broadswords of like your starting level or really really high end stuff, and you have to break all of this down for materials to craft the armor to unlock the other classes. Which is how I end up spending 8 hours straight just trying to unlock the fucking arcane warrior.
Yeah, but you can just do that by playing through it. You get items that you don't want to use, or you have high-level items.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
I spent 8 hours trying to get the items because they break down to certain types: leather, metal.
Or there
Cloth.
is the low chance that you will actually pick up one of the items.
Yeah, there is a very low chance you can unlock the armors, and all armor does is it changes your appearance.
it sounds like most other loot shooters with Mass Effect style crate system from the multiplayer on Mass Effect 3.
Pretty much.
Is it fun though? Is playing the actual game fun?
Strangely, like I said, it's that whole Sims Stockholm thing where it doesn't feel like fun at times, and especially with the peer-to-peer connection issues and some people just voting to kick you when you've joined a lobby. People sat there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, not clicking ready to start a map.
So,
But
yeah,
you
sounds
end up-
like Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
You end up going through it like multiple times because it strangely is fun without actually, being wonderful fun.
What?
Like when you actively enjoy something.
Yeah.
For a lot of this multiplayer, I'm not actually actively enjoying it, but it's still somehow strangely fun.
Oh, okay.
It's compelling.
That's the word.
But they've since added a new update which changed up because essentially you go through a series of straight corridors with, it's Final Fantasy 13 level design. So you go straight down a corridor, go off this way a little bit, go through this room, find treasure. If you're lucky, a little tiny shortcut to bypass the rest of the linear corridor thing. I think in the new update they've added, it's all procedurally generated, so it's not exactly the same, but it is going to be a corridor.
Oh, fair enough.
With enemies. They've now added in the update as of a couple of days ago wildlife, which will attack anybody, including giants, because they're the fuck you of games now. Ew.
Because fuck giants.
And slightly more variation in the levels, like a couple more forking paths, maybe.
And there's a tree!
Yay, tree!
Because
Would you recommend our listeners to play the multiplayer?
If you have a decent enough internet connection, yes.
otherwise, stay the fuck away
Otherwise,
from this game.
if you actually do
Otherwise,
have
play
spotty-
Beast's Fury instead.
Yes, if you have spotty internet, play Beast Fury, for they do not have an online function just yet.
Dear me. So that's Beast Fury, Dragon Age multiplayer, and Antichamber.
Yep.
So that's it for the done and dusted. Now it's just the waffle before we end the show and TV talk.
And TV talk, yeah. Wow, wasn't there a shitload of TV over Christmas and New Year's?
I can't comment because I didn't really see any.
Oh, I've been...
Wait. Did ITV show Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi this Christmas?
I don't think so, no.
Ah, that used to be tradition.
Although Die Hard was on, and that's tradition.
Oh god, yeah, Christmas movie.
Like I kept on saying, that there are two types of people in this world. People who think that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and people who are utterly wrong.
Indeed.
Well, one thing I will say is the Sherlock special.
Isn't that next year?
Yeah, it's forthcoming.
Yeah, it's next year. I thought it was this year. The way they were doing like the teaser pictures for it.
Oh no, they tease early for Sherlock because we get Sherlock hype. Fuck yeah.
Which has actually pissed off more people than it's hyped.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. If you
bitches be
follow
happy.
the Sherlock community, it's like Half-Life 3 is going to come out before Season 4.
Season 3, surely.
No,
Sherlock?
Oh,
that's
that's Season 4. Shit,
We've
time
had
flies.
Season 3.
I forgot Season 4, Season 3, Season 2 even was the one that ended on the massive cliffhanger.
They all ended on massive
It's the
cliffhangers.
case of,
No, sorry.
if it's not on Netflix, it doesn't technically exist for you now.
No, I use Netflix so rarely.
And it's not on the BBC iPlayer. I think they still got the first season up, but not the other ones. Netflix
That's
have
because they only have
seasons
so
1 and
long to
2.
have the seasons on.
Yeah.
And that's from...
BBC iPlayer will have it on there if they've aired it within the last 30 days or so.
Yeah,
Sometimes
if
they
it's
will
been
have
aired,
things for
it will be on
longer.
there.
4OD is so much better at this.
Yes.
Depends on
Yes.
annoying adverts or pay to remove them.
It,
but
it depends what rights they've got, because I know at the moment a load of BBC programmes from the archives about railways are on there until sometime in like 10 years' time or something, because the BBC now have the rights to them all and they can stick them on there. And so all the old shows I used to watch when I was a young thing, like the Rainhill Trials video, the Railfest 115, the Train Now Departing, all those kind of videos are up there for, well, until fucking we all go out and die, I think. They're on there until then. So
I still remember,
Well, that's also because they're upgrading the online functionality
Hmm.
slowly.
I remember Celine trying to watch Dragon Riders of Berk through the iPlayer and didn't realise she was watching episodes out of order until they started referencing some things in continuity.
yeah, in fact, the iPlayer got me on the Riders of Berk, and then I instantly went and torrented both seasons.
Yeah, because fuck trying to find anything in order on the iPlayer.
They do show you the episode number in the title.
They
So
didn't
you-
at the time.
They did, because that's how I knew I was watching episode 19. I'm going, this is quite late. I should probably watch an earlier episode first.
Whereas 4OD, I can just sit there and go, Darren Brown, here's all the specials and here's the TV shows. Would you like to watch them now? Yeah.
So,
Thing is,
what
BBC
TV
thing-
has been watched then over New
Okay,
Year's?
guys, the YouTube preview is doing weird things.
Really?
You're all moving at normal speed and then suddenly you do horror movie speed up for a second.
Was that just Alex rubbing himself?
There's just a bit
Yes,
of buffer.
and also TK's head just sort of like suddenly went in directions like a possession spaz.
Oh, just be a buffer, I reckon. There's like
All the house is being possessed by evil spirits and we
there's-
need to come and kill
this
you all.
brings me back full circle to our conversation before the show about having a healthy buffer.
Indeed. But no, there's
Fanar.
But
TV
I watched
watched over New Year's.
Tigers About the House, the follow-up. What happened next? It was called, and it was only 2 episodes instead of 3 this time. But it charted the life of Spot and Stripe, the 2 tigers from the original series, after they'd kind of finished adolescence and are now moving into adulthood, and now being a year old. And it also featured the zookeeper and his family going off to the country where the tigers are very rare. I can't remember the name of the country now, but it's like
Well, that's most of them at this point, really.
it's near Australia. And what's the fucking country called? I can't remember now. It's in your mind until you need it, and then it just disappears.
Let's talk about New Zealand, right?
No.
No, because that's near Australia.
Yeah, this is a bit further away. It's about 3,000 miles from Australia, which is relatively close in the grand scheme of things.
Let's just say the whole Pan-Asian area.
Serbia, I think it was. Siberian. So yeah, Siberia. That could be it. Siberian tigers, makes sense. And they had a kind of a road trip type thing there, where they went off and saw some of the conservation efforts for the tigers and helped out some of the conservation teams. Because the Australian zoo where these Spot and Stripe are kept also helped fund some of these projects. And so they went and helped those guys out and see where the money went and see where they could get them.
You know, it seems especially altruistic of Australian, animal rights activists and people that want to take care of animals. Because they live on a continent where all of the wildlife is actively trying to kill them.
Yeah. And here
It
they
seems
are.
just especially altruistic of them.
And here they are trying to preserve more animals that are going to be out to kill them.
That or
tigers.
Stockholm syndrome. We don't know.
And yeah, well, you see some of the spiders in Australia. These were nothing compared to some of the ones in Serbia. They're fucking huge. It was
You've seen the like 4-hour video of a brown globe spider killing a 6-foot snake.
No.
Moving
It's
on.
terrifying. Necrosis is setting in before this thing is
Moving
dead.
on.
I've downloaded but not yet watched both the episodes that they've aired so far of Still Open All Hours. Yeah,
I've finally finished Shield.
Oh, you have to lower the tone of some crappy American programming, don't you?
Oh, come on, Shield's fun.
It's taken a little while to get to the halfway point of season 2.
Yeah, and a lot of other things have randomly taken a 1 or 2 week break at this time.
Flash.
That's another thing that's
Arrow,
becoming more and
Turtles.
more frequent.
God damn it, where's my turtles?
Constantine's taken a 1 week break. After the whole Sisters of Lilith and finding out what the Rising Dark is episode, which is somehow still more underwhelming than the previous episode with the Angels.
I need to catch up on
Oh, for
Constantine.
fuck's sake, mate.
But then my run at the moment is Supernatural, so
I'm
thought
still
you'd
going
watch
to go
that.
back at some point and watch the first 5 seasons of Supernatural, except the last 2 minutes of the last episode of season 5.
why?
Because that's the point where it was meant to end. And the original writer said, nope, I'm not writing anymore, fuck off. He left, they brought in somebody else, they wrote that cliffhanger ending to season 5, and then you had the feature creep ever since, where they've had to try to bring
Soulless
in bigger
Dean.
bad guys.
Not Soulless Dean, Soulless Sam.
Yeah, you can kind of see
Death.
how the bad guy for each season has gotten sillier because they've had to try to top it ever since. Season 5 is going to be the original definitive end to the series until the cliffhanger right after they've beaten the big bad.
Well, it's still not been too bad, really. I mean, I've got season 7 that I'm going through with the ridiculous enemy. Season 8 apparently is quite good, and then
Well, it's
they've
gonna come
really
to a point
revisited
where
it with
next
season
season,
10.
The only enemy they could possibly fight is Tengen Topper Gurren Lagann.
Well, at the moment,
Well,
it's like the
Ultimate Tengen
Metatron
Topper.
and Demon Dean, and I don't think they've actually gone back into the Hell Pit to find their other brother.
Well, it's going to tell her that all the bad guys have Voltroned.
Hashtag
That's the only way
spoilers.
they can find another fucking bad guy that's worse than everything else they've done before.
We don't need to find another bad guy that's worse. You just need to get the King of Hell involved, because that guy was in Doctor Who, and it's hilarious watching him act with these guys.
Well, they've already kind of had the Lucifer thing, and they've gone, well, we've been fighting the old ones who are like worse than Lucifer.
No, not Lucifer.
Oh.
You remember the Crossroad Demon?
Hang on, can I interrupt a second? Just jog my memory, speaking about actors in Doctor Who.
Yep.
Do you remember Peter Capaldi? What he,
Strangely, yes.
what he was in just before Doctor Who?
He's got a second season.
Yeah, the Three Musketeers second season has begun.
I've seen
It started on Friday.
pictures. It started. Fuck.
Yeah, episode 1's already out, and it'll be available on the iPlayer for downloading if you want to download it. And it surprised me, because the very first thing they do, literally before anything, is announce Cardinal Richelieu's death. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
Hetty.
shit. He's like, that means there's no Capaldi in this series. And then they replaced him with someone just as good, so I was like, okay. Having read the books, I was quite happy with
Well,
the new villain.
we were kind of expecting that, weren't we?
Well, we were expecting his death. I didn't think they managed to squeeze it in alongside Doctor Who. But this is literally the very first. I thought he might be in at least one episode where he died. He didn't just die off screen. It's like, bastards, how could you do this to me? And then they introduced the new villain. I was like, okay, I'm sated. That will do. I'm happy now.
Is Richelieu definitely dead? Is he definitely not coming back?
Definitely.
And that's part of the canon of the story.
Have you not read Dumas?
It's a big book.
Even I've read it. Come on, Pete.
Yeah, man.
And it's not necessarily canon. I mean, if you want to see something that is truly canon, surprisingly, watch Dogtanian.
D'Artagnan and the Musket Hounds,
The
yeah.
first series of Dogtanian stays remarkably true to the original novel, which is hilarious. And definitely worth all 26 episodes of watching for the first series. Second season you can pretty much avoid if you like, but the first season definitely worth watching. And yeah,
If
the
you can get it,
Musketeers,
yeah.
the BBC series does stray from canon quite considerably.
This just opens up a whole sort of adaptation debate, doesn't it?
It does. But the BBC one, it strays. In the same way, it strayed from Merlin quite considerably. You know, Merlin's story was nothing like the original.
You know, I still prefer the Sam Neill Merlin series.
I really like the BBC one.
I thought.
Sam Neill one was BBC as well, I think, or maybe 4.
All right. Well, the most recent Merlin on the BBC, the one actually called Merlin. I really love the chemistry between Merlin and King Arthur. I know Pete did as well.
That was awesome. I liked it when they got that right because you had then Merlin guards
Oh yeah.
that we lambasted so badly and has become a thing, which
has.
I think is nice. And Sir Anthony Thingy Head, who actually had an awesome character again.
Yeah.
Just call him Anthony Giles Head. You heard the finger quotes, right?
Just Giles.
Loudly.
Giles will do. And John Hurt playing John Hurt as John Hurt as
In a Jack
dragon.
Black movie. John Hurt movie.
John Hurt the Dragon.
It's literally is there a case of John Hurt's in it? What's he playing? John Hurt.
He is the Jack Black of
He's
television.
come a long way since, you remember, the first bloke to die in Alien.
Yep.
Poor bastard.
Yeah.
On the other hand, that did make him part of one of the best practical jokes.
He's a classically
movies.
trained actor. That was the worst
A
thing.
lot
It's
of
like a
them are.
classically trained actor.
A lot of them surprisingly are.
I
mean,
know,
even
but it's
David
like,
Tennant
I'm a
is.
classically trained actor. What was your first major movie role? Well, I had this thing burst out of my chest.
Yeah.
You know how many classically trained actors were in, Hammer Horror?
Oh yeah. Hammer Horror.
And went on to big things.
Not
Robert
again.
King, Christopher Lee.
Any other TV that was watched then over the new year?
No, not really.
I need to watch SEO Trot.
What?
Gesundheit.
No, it's Tortoise backwards. It's the BBC adaptation of the Roald Dahl story. From what I gathered from watching the trailer for it, it seems that there's a chap in love with a woman, but the woman's only got time for tortoises, so he goes batshit crazy and gets all the tortoises in the world. In
I
order
think
to
I've
kill
seen
her
this
fancies.
German movie.
Yeah.
Aha! And it's apparently based on a Roald Dahl book, so that got me to add it to my BBC iPlayer download list, which is now
Yep.
rather full,
Roald Dahl book illustrated by Quentin Blake.
as all good Roald Dahl books were.
Published in 1990.
Really, that late? Christ.
Yeah.
That must have been one of his very
Mr.
latest-
Hoppy is a shy old man who lives alone in an apartment building. For many years, he's been secretly in love with Mrs. Silver,
They
a woman who lives below him.
they attempted to clone Quentin Blake for his art style to use for other authors, and the results were varied. The most successful experiment, where Blake went on to illustrate the Tracy Beaker books.
Oh God, it's this!
Yeah, that.
I didn't recognise it from the title.
Yeah. But no, that's been added to my BBC. It's like every time I click on it now, it's like, have you got the BBC iPlayer downloader? Yes, I have. Would you like to download this in HD? Yes, I would. Thank you. You now have 30 odd days to watch it. Okay. I'll get round to that then. So yeah, my BBC iPlayer downloading program has been busy, and things like Mock the Week also I downloaded and watched. And all the quiz comms basically gotten set down.
Am I the only person that basically pretty much only watches Mock the Week for Hugh Dennis?
Yes.
I only really watch it for Dara Breen.
Yeah, he is fun, but I can watch him in other things as well, whereas
Yeah.
Hugh Dennis is sadly underappreciated.
He is. But I like Dara Breen's desperately attempting to try and rein in the madness and then failing and just giving up and going with it until he gets a voice in his ear telling him to shut the fuck up and get on with it.
Did anyone see the Charlie Brooker screen wipe at all?
Yep, Charlie Brooker's 2014 wipe, saw that.
Nope. Remember, I don't really watch
And
much TV.
there's also apparently Snow Wolf Family and Me.
Didn't download that. Yeah, and you forget, Felix,
I
I don't
may
watch
have
much
to.
TV either. All mine has been BBC iPlayer downloads.
This one was BBC Two on the iPlayer.
Okay. Any good?
I don't know, but it does have a guy annoyingly close to a winter wolf, and I hate him for it.
Aww. So maybe something for the download list there then.
Yeah, and lastly, obviously, Miranda, that's finally finished.
Yes, the final Miranda two-part series. I got Miranda's book for Hedgie for Christmas, which he appreciated because he quite likes Miranda, and the book wasn't cheap. Its cover price is 20. Its cover price is 20 quid. Put it that way. So yeah, ouch. I haven't seen it yet. I've downloaded both episodes. I'm not really a huge Miranda fan, but since it is the last one ever, I thought, okay, I'll watch it because I really ought to. And
It's an interesting two-parter.
I also watched the bloopers for Not Going Out as well, because I wasn't a huge fan of Not Going Out, but it has grown on me. And now it's got to the point of I will watch it. It's not something I rave about yet, but it has managed to go up in the ranks to I'll watch it. And I think it also has Hugh Dennis in it, so Yeah, he plays an upstairs neighbour. So there's no reason. There's nothing else you can see Hugh Dennis in now.
He also had his own sitcom on the BBC, didn't he?
He used to, yeah.
It was a very dry and dark one,
Mm-hmm.
which is what he's best at.
Yep. I think he had sketch comedy as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he was also
Way back when.
I first actually saw him as the asshole doctor in My Hero,
Hey,
which
God.
was a
yes.
kind of fun series because it had the dim one from Father Ted in it.
Yeah.
Yes, that was awesome to watch.
It really was. Especially one where the nurse receptionist actually gets the superpowers and just turns into the evil crow. You just see her just drift as a shadow throughout everything.
And DJ in channel says that he's been watching FMA Brotherhood as well.
Ooh, good choice, sir. Turn on the dubs; they are fantastic.
Got a question. What the fuck is FMA Brotherhood?
Full Metal Alchemist.
Ah,
It's
okay.
the one that went closer to
Ah,
the
yes.
manga.
Right. He's going. He saw that soul crushing episode 4. I take it that means more to you than it does to me.
Actually, every few episodes there's a soul-crushing moment. Now, that series is full of soul-crushing moments on a couple of teenage boys.
Fair enough.
It starts off with one of them losing an arm and leg, and the other one losing his entire body and being relegated to being a soul in an empty armored suit.
That
The
sucks.
reason for this is because they're trying to
Resurrect
bring their
dead
mother back from the
who
dead.
died of the anime disease, which is non-specific coughing but terminal illness.
Ah, okay.
I remember when I had to bring my mother back to life. Cost me an arm and a leg.
Yeah, because in Full Metal Alchemist, it is the magic and power is about sacrifice, and there's a
alchemy.
lot that forges into this mechanic and idea
Fair enough.
that leads into
strangely,
the explanation of the bad guys.
The one that
But it-
strayed further
it's-
away from the manga actually stayed close to the whole, you must trade something of equal worth thing than the other series. The manga itself did. Which
No,
is
the manga is no, because in the original where they actually create the homunculus, because they tried to do it in the actual adaptation of the manga, where it's basically, yeah, you can't create a human because that's not equivalent exchange. You require the lives of stupid amounts of people to bring back somebody from the dead.
It's because if it wasn't one of the main themes in the end, it's veered away from the equivalent exchange theme and went towards the whole. What is a man?
Yeah, there's
is
some
that?
there's some interesting themes in there that do get skirted around.
It's on Netflix, TK.
Okay. I won't.
It's also got some comedy bits in there, so it's good for a laugh.
Fair enough. I'll take all
It's
your words
one of
for
the
it.
better, longer than usual running anime series.
I'm still waiting for new series of Initial D. I quite enjoyed Series 5.
It's up to season 5.
Yeah, we've had season 5. There's only about 13 or 14 episodes of it, but there was a season 5. And it ended on quite a cliffhanger as well. And I was like,
Was that
We can do the drinking
final
game.
stage?
Uh,
Was that final stage? Because I know I've been seeing them on YouTube's.
Which series was
Potentially,
it?
yeah.
I was at your place and I started my own personal drinking game of every time they show the same clip of he lets go of the accelerator and puts his foot across both pedals in extreme close-up, I will take a shot.
Yeah, Initial
like
D
5
final
times an
stage
episode,
release
please.
2014.
yeah, sounds about right. Early 2014.
4 episodes.
Really? Maybe not then. Maybe I've missed this. Maybe I'm going to have to do some Googling after the show.
I might watch the new Dragon Ball movie just because I want to see what the title's going to be translated to. I still say it should be Dial F for Frieza.
Press F to pay respects.
I can't see how they can do another Dragon Ball movie with the atrociousness they've done with the real life ones, because it's like how can you do another Dragon Ball movie real life after
With
what you've done?
money!
No, this is another Dragon Ball animated movie.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna have the gods of gods turn up now.
No.
No, he cameos, apparently.
He cameo. Oh god, so
No,
Gohan is
this one
going
is,
to.
the Japanese translation is F is for resurrection. Because resurrection in Japanese begins with an F, which is actually a H.
So Garlic Junior's coming back.
Frieza.
So actually, a direct translation would be R
Would
is
be
for
H
resurrection.
is for resurrection.
Ah,
Okay.
If you were to directly translate it, which doesn't mean you have to take the actual meaning, because that isn't a real direct translation. I mean, it is a direct translation, but direct translation also means making it work in your language. It would be R. R is for resurrection.
F.
We are now.
No, it would
It
be.
sounded.
I know
but-
why they said the F because F is for freezer, but if they translated it, it
Yeah.
would be R.
Well, now we're
Resurrect.
just sounding like the ABCs of death. So, which is coming in 2016 for the third film.
A third one.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, Son Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, Son Gohan, Kirin. Oh, Jesus.
I didn't know Jesus was in it.
Beerus.
Tension.
It's like- Why?
Reasons. You should know this
Oh,
by
I
now.
see. I see. So basically, remnants of Frieza's army turn up to search for the Dragon
no,
Balls
no.
to revive
Frieza.
Frieza.
Frieza shows up.
Yes, he's resurrected
Yes.
by the Dragon Balls.
Right. On that note, it has brought us to top of the hour.
Yay!
Top of the hour to ya.
Oh, top of the hour to you all.
And now for another 2 hours of content.
Hell no. Because, no. We're busy people. And so, as the wonderful tune of Eternus
Could you stop deep throating Hedgie's bacon cane?
Om nom nom.
Why is that head?
This is where everyone
Oh,
goes to
other
the
one's
YouTube
Hedgie's,
channel.
okay.
Yeah.
Check that one.
Oh,
Wait, you got a few seconds.
TK doesn't want it. It's okay.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Suck on
for it.
TK's bacon pole.
Om nom nom. We
Have
are.
some man bait.
Let us end the show on that note, because that sounds like a
Oh.
typical note to end the show on.
That's an end to there. That's a note to end something on.
Yes, very quickly. So it's a good night from the Fearless.
Good night.
It's a good night from the Xavier.
Good night.
It's a good night from the Angel Dog Song.
Good night.
And it's a good night for myself, TK. Thank you very much for listening to the first episode of the new year. Next week will be the second episode of the new year, also known as episode 43, meaning we'll have something like 9 episodes left.
9 left of season 8.
9.
9, I know. And then we can start work on season 9. Haha.
9.
9. Just don't call the emergency services. Yes, thank you very much for listening to this week's Shenanigan. We'll be back next week for more of the same with Done and Dusted, Review of the Week, and all the gaming news and jazz that you've come to expect from us. But until then, it's night, everybody. Night.